Okay. First is occupation rights. Who can occupy and stay there? Okay. Second is use rights. What can you use that land for? Can you crop? Can you grow trees? Can you bury your dead? Can you build? Okay, those rights have to be clear. Okay. Third is transfer rights. Can you sell? Can you mortgage it? Can you subdivide it? Can you bequeath it to your children and future generations? Those rights have to be clear. The fourth right is inclusion rights. Who is included in those rights and who is excluded? In the Western world, they emphasize exclusion rights. That's why you find in most places they'll put a sign which says, uh, what is not just right of admission reserved, but they also say trespassers will be executed or prosecuted.
Yeah.
But in Africa, inclusion rights are also important.
Right.
Because I could be born in Johannesburg, but if my father or mother was in Shitombolo, I can go and claim my rights.
Sure.
Then you have spatial rights. From how far does your piece of land extend? From what point to what point? And then finally, you got your temporal rights. That for how long do you have those rights? Is it for eternity or for a certain period of time? So leases will specify the amount of time. Title deeds may not specify that. Those 7 rights, each one of those has to be clearly specified in substantive term under each type of title deed. So the biggest challenge with the understanding of land rights in the entire world, not just in Zimbabwe, and I worked on this when I was chairing the Land Commission, it's a problem. Any tenure system, whether it's customary tenure or it's a communist commune system or it's a title deed Western system, operates on the same 7 rights. But people think that if you're under customary tenure, there are no rights or there are ill-defined rights.
Yeah.
Customary systems have been known well before colonization to define all these rights very clearly. So the only problem we've had in Africa is to try and abolish the customary system, thinking the Western system is more sophisticated. Why? Because you see whites thriving on their pieces of land. So instead of strengthening the customary system so that in the end the rights are the same and you have the same laws, the Constitution recognizes both. And the transition we're talking about can now happen as one economy. That's what happened in Europe. They also had rural agrarian society with the same territorial understanding of land. Okay, they had tribes as well, just like us.
Sure.
But it was one society, one transition. Now we have 2 societies transitioning at different paces, 2 economies. It's not gelling. So if there's going to be a major reform in the land tenure and land rights in Zimbabwe, it has to start by integrating customary law and the colonial given or enforced laws into one legal system. Okay, they have to all understand the same rights under the